Hi, David, they call me MacGyver. Today I'm going to show you how to remove a stud and yet still keep the strength. I'm going to be putting a closet underneath my stairway and I need to remove a stud that's actually supporting the landing, and so I'm going to show you how I'm going to build a bracket to support that so that I won't have issues with my landing, bowing down or cracking or anything like that. So hang tight and I'll show you how I did it. So here we are underneath my dark stairway, and I'm going to be removing this stud, so I'll cut it off with my Sawzall. Got the stud out of the way, and then I've got some angle iron already had. It's got some slotted holes in it, but I'll need to drill a couple other holes. But I'll take my vise and hold it, and I'll use my little 4.5 inch cutoff wheel on my 4.5 inch grinder, and then I lay it inside of a piece of angle iron, and then I'll weld the corners of that, and then I'll put a brace across, marking it for the degrees here, and then I'll cut that off with my cutoff wheel as well on my grinder. I found that the 4.5 inch cutoff wheel on a grinder works better than the big 12 and 14 inch cutoff wheels. It just cuts so much cleaner and easier. Then I'll lay this in here, and after I get it all centered, I measure down from the corner to each angle to make sure that I'm the same distance, and then I'll tack weld that piece in. And as I do this, I will weld all the way up maybe about 1/8 inch from the edge of the steel, so I don't go all the way to the edge, because you don't want to weld completely across the flat area of the angle or it'll actually weaken it. So you weld up to it, but don't go across. It's better to stitch weld than it is to do 100% weld across. It's actually stronger. And then I'll weld that corner up. We'll get this all welded in here, right down from there, and we'll weld the outside right across here and right across here on the brace. And then after we get that welded, then I will actually clean it up with my grinder, and I'll spray some paint in there just to keep it from rusting. Anytime you weld, you should always spray it with paint. Clean your weld up a little bit with a wire brush and then paint it, and that keeps it from rusting. And now we'll go ahead and move on inside. I'm going to pilot drill the holes, so I'm picking the right drill bit. And basically you want to be able to see the threads on the screw, and then when you hold it in front of it, you want to be able to not see the drill bit. That lets you know you got the right size drill. So then I'll climb underneath the stairway here, and I'll go ahead and hold the brace up there. I'll mark it. I'll drill pilot holes in each one of those 4 places where I'm going to put lag bolts. And then I select my correct lag bolt to make sure that it doesn't go too far through the stud. I'm just going flush, plus the metal will be good. I want it to go into both pieces because I want it to be super strong. So then I'll do the top bolt on the outside, and the battery on my impact driver is low, so I'll swap that out and get the new battery on and finish putting that one in. And then after I get that one put in, we'll go down and grab the bottom bolt, and we'll run that one in. Keep in mind, I already drilled pilot holes, so it's just threads cutting in. Once we get that done, then we'll repeat the process up on the top. And I held my camera the other direction, so this is actually going up, not down. This is the upper bolts. So we do the same thing there. After we get those 2 done, we've replaced the strength of that stud, and I'm actually going to end up cutting the bottom plate out. I'll just go up to the edge of those studs and cut that bottom plate out, so that when I slide something in there, I don't have to worry about it going over the top of that stud down there. I'll take that stud completely out. And I could have taken the stud on the other side, but I just decided that I didn't want to do that. Here's those magnetic holders, and basically I just put 2 of those on there to make sure it was good and strong. I also put a light in underneath, so I just have to pull on the string. You can see I already loaded my Christmas tree in there, and that was one of the reasons why I needed to cut that stud out. and then you just push it closed, it sticks. Here's exposed hinges. I put a little trim. I use the same piece of sheetrock that I cut out just between the studs. And then down here on the bottom plate, I actually had to space it because I didn't want to break the sheetrock or the baseboard on the other side, so I just put some plywood in between it and spaced it up so that when I go across it, I'm not going to bust up the sheetrock. Here you can see I got the hinges, and I inset those into the wood. I just marked it and then cut it out with a multi-tool and a wood chisel and recess those in there. Here you can see we're all set, and turn out the light. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope that was educational to you, and I hope it can help you in the future. And you have a great day. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do.